Welcome to the Loop.
Welcome to the Not Loop. It's not the loop till hand clapping happens. Cheering happened. It's the loop.
If you're in our audience, pay attention for the applause sound behind us.
Wolf,
we're stuck in a loop.
Come with me and you'll be in a loop of your imagination. I was subjected to watching both versions of Charlie and the Chocolate Factory tonight.
Oh boy!
Tonight?
Yeah.
Oh man!
Which one do you like the best?
Wow, is it? Are you kidding?
I'm just curious.
I mean, of course,
the Johnny Depp one.
Ew.
Ew.
No. I mean,
of course not.
That one's so
Come
worse.
on,
so
the original.
Worse.
Gene is just so much more charismatic, you know?
Less creepy too.
Yeah. Except there's one part where he sticks his hand in that girl's fur coat.
Oh yeah,
and he
true.
rubs it. That's weird. But no, I think that it's I mean, it hands down, especially watching them back to back. Although we started with the first one, the new one. I mean, sorry, the new one, not the first one, and then watched the old one. The music's just so much better. That weird like Europop version of the music and the Johnny Depp one is frightening.
The new one scared me the entire movie.
It scared you?
Well, it
You're
was just
easily
like
frightened.
It was like only because I know the story and saw the first one am I willing to sit through the rest of this.
Yeah, because you know they're not all going to be eaten. Is that why you don't like scary movies? Is the unknown that scares you? Fear
No,
of the
I don't
unknown.
get scared from the movie.
Oh.
I normally overanalyze scary movies.
Oh, and then what?
And then I annoy people.
Oh, so you don't watch it
Because I'm like, oh, that's not real. That would never happen. That kind of thing.
Yeah, that's true. Why don't you do that with other movies then?
No, I do that with other movies, action movies, unless I know they're not supposed to be real. Like Fast and Furious, obviously you're not going to say that could never happen in a car because you know that could never happen in a car.
But that's the same with a horror movie. It's not supposed to be real.
It's not the same.
Unless it's based on a true story.
I mean,
not the same.
How is it not the same?
Like the Winchester lady one? Although they just say that was a true story.
That one's totally true.
Winchester lady.
That's
what
so
are we
true.
talking
Yeah,
about?
the one with the lady, the Winchester lady who built this crazy house in California, and it has stairs to nowhere because she thought she had ghosts in her house. It's based on a true story.
What are you talking about?
You guys know, that just came out like a couple of months ago.
It's called the Winchester lady?
It's called
No,
Winchester.
it's called Winchester.
Oh, I'd never heard of it, no.
She's the
The legend
heir
is,
of,
I think,
of the Winchester family.
she had some sort of person say that if she kept building, the ghosts wouldn't come around or something like that.
But supposedly they're still finding rooms in the house they didn't know existed.
Yeah, and so basically
is she
that
building
house,
them herself?
No,
She'd have them built and changed.
She would, constantly
in order to
24/7.
trick the ghosts. There was always construction happening. So there'd be like stairs that go into walls, and only one bathroom. There was like 9 or 10 bathrooms in the house, but only one of them actually worked. Stuff like that.
Never heard of this, ever.
You'd probably like the
I guess
movie.
I saw a trailer. It's got
Never saw a trailer either.
It's got Jason Clarke in it.
Who's
That's
that?
He's a guy. He was in the second Planet of the Apes movies.
Oh yeah, that's.
And Helen Mirren is
I think
playing Sarah Winchester.
Yeah, she was crazy.
Yeah, I never heard of that. Sorry. That's cool though.
It didn't do well.
I just can't.
Not surprising.
Oliver's here. Welcome to chat. He says, would you say that the Winchester lady was having a supernatural experience?
No, Supernatural is a TV show. We're talking about a movie.
Way to clear that one up, Kyle. Thank
That's
you.
what I'm here for.
I think she was having psychotic episodes, but I don't know if that would qualify.
This is a movie
Yes,
and
as
TV shows.
No,
are in
I'm talking about the real
episodes,
person. But
You're
no.
talking about the real person.
But it was
Yeah.
a movie, not a TV show, therefore not episodic. Just clarify.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Thank you.
You
for
said
that.
she was having episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
so-
it was a movie.
People
Jeremy.
don't
No, that's
have
great.
episodes; they watch episodes.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Gosh, Jeremy,
you
you're
can
so
only have
dumb.
episodes if it's a TV show that's made,
Yeah.
We got it.
or a Star Wars.
Oh, that's true. Star Wars does have episodes, but they're just like long TV shows. Especially now that Disney has them, and we're gonna have them forever. I drove by like a dollar theater, and I saw that it said Star Wars 8 on the sign, and I was just like, it was just like a number 8 and not the Roman numeral. And for one, that annoyed me. Two, because it should be the Roman numeral. It's just weird.
Yeah.
Two, it's just I got to think about it, and I was just like, man, am I gonna someday in the future, am I gonna drive by a dollar theater and see it just say like Star Wars 34 and like Disney is just like still
yeah,
pumping
absolutely.
them out and like
I
yeah.
hope not.
I mean, how many Shreks do they have?
70.
There's like 5.
They are making a new one too.
Oh my gosh! I thought that was supposed to be.
Do
the
they
end
own
of them.
Rambo? Because I feel like there's like 14 of those.
I hope Smash Mouth comes back for this new Shrek. Yeah, Rambo. What do they own? Rambo? Does Shrek own Rambo? I don't
No,
think that's
does
how
Disney.
movies
What?
work.
No,
Oh,
Disney doesn't. There are
Why?
4 Rambo movies.
Really?
Oh, really?
Yeah.
I thought that was...
There's actually more Live Free or I'm sorry, not Live Free or
Hard.
Die Hard. That's
Die
the
Hard,
name of one
yeah.
of the Die Hard movies. There's more Die Hard
But
movies.
the first 3 are the only real ones.
Wait,
what
I know
the
there's
fourth one
more.
was
I'm just
really
saying the
good.
first 3 are no.
The fourth one was really good.
No.
Live Free or Die Hard was
Live
a
Free or
great
Die
movie.
Hard was great. Yeah.
Did you even
I liked
see it,
that one.
Jeremy?
It was
saw
way
it.
better than 3.
It wasn't bad. That's the one where he crashed a car into a helicopter.
Yeah.
that was
Yeah,
like
that was
one
awesome,
of the coolest moments.
Yeah.
Okay.
But and it
The,
had
the fifth
Kevin
one
Smith
was
in it.
terrible.
Yeah.
Yeah, Kevin Smith in his Fortress of Solitude.
And it had Justin
Justin
Long,
Long,
the
the
Apple
Mac.
guy. Yeah, the Mac. The Mac is back, and he's under attack. He ain't taking no flack or cutting any slack. Yo. That I don't know. I didn't watch the whatever 5th one of that, but
I did. It was not good.
I just my spidey sense was tingling.
They're supposed to be doing a new Die Hard movie
I wouldn't be
called
surprised.
Die Hard Year One. It's an origin movie.
What?
Yeah.
Really?
Really? What?
With different
No.
actors,
Gosh.
obviously.
No, Bruce Willis is set to appear as John McClane, so I'm guessing it's flashback stuff.
Are they
Oh
gonna
my
tell him a
goodness.
story? Something?
Wow.
Maybe the last movie should be called Die Soft, the Blue Pill,
Yeah.
Or no, Finally Dead.
the Blue Pill. What?
Finally Dead. Like that's
Oh.
the last one.
If you're
Died.
taking a blue pill for your
Yeah, the
colon,
last
is
one
it
should
a
be called
repository?
Died Hard. It's like, spoiler alert, John McClane dies.
He just dies for
Yeah.
5 minutes of the movie.
I should clarify, it's only rumored that he will be John McClane in Die Hard Year One.
Who would they have play a young John? That would be dumb. That would be dumb.
Who would play a young
you,
Bruce
you know
Willis?
what? I gotta say, people probably said the same thing about this Solo movie, Trevor. I'm just throwing
Yeah.
it out there. Who would
Fine.
play a young Harrison Ford? That's gonna be dumb.
It's gonna be the worst.
Uh,
Still could be.
I mean,
I mean,
we
but
haven't
haven't
Or it could
seen
be
it.
the only good Star Wars movie, out there.
I mean, yeah.
I don't know. I'm just like I'm fine with people thinking it's gonna suck, but just stop saying that. I don't care what you.
See, I think it's going to be the one I'll like the most. I already have a premonition. I think
Well,
it's
you have
going
a
to be
premonition.
amazing.
Why is that?
Yeah.
Why is that?
His spidey senses
Because
are
it's
tangling.
it's out of the normal flow of the rest of the movies. So
Did
I
you
think
like
I'm going to
Rogue One?
enjoy it.
You didn't like Rogue One. It was out of the
I mean, it was
flow.
okay. My kids liked it, so that made me like it, I guess.
I do. I think this one looks good. I mean, I'm
I
still
like
not,
it.
I'm
I'm
still
really
not
excited.
sold on the actor, but I feel like this last trailer, he had some more solo, like Harrison Fordisms that kind of brought me in.
I think
full.
everybody kind of talks. Well, everybody kind of talks about him like being pretty monotone or something, and I think that's very Han though. So I
Yeah.
think it'll work out fine.
It is a weird thing that happens. I think when people like try to imitate a certain thing, and then maybe they do it too well because it's not what we remember. We remember the highlight reels of things, and so
True.
it's like I think when it's almost like you have. It's kind of like when they remaster. Here's a transition. It's kind of like when they remaster a video game, right? Or when they update it.
No,
and make
because some of those games really are still good.
No, but I'm just saying, like when they make it, like they make a new version of it. I shouldn't
Oh,
say
yeah,
remaster, a reboot is what I mean. And
Oh,
then
yeah.
you play the new game, and you're like, this is just like I remember it. But if you actually go back and play the original, it's like
It's
hot
like
trash.
nowhere.
Totally different.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
But they do a good job of making it how you play like a modern game, but still have the things you remember about the original. And so I wonder if he really was trying to nail a good a good Han Solo Harrison Ford version. Like maybe it's just too good. Maybe that's the problem.
Maybe that is the problem.
I don't know. I'm curious to see the movie. And you know what? We'll all get to see it in December. Is it? Is that when it comes
May.
out? May?
Yeah, May.
Yep.
Oh,
Like
okay.
next month.
Which one did they delay? I thought they delayed one of them. Which one of the Star Wars?
Delayed
ones?
8.
Oh, was it supposed to be May? And then it came out in
was supposed to
December?
be-
Yeah.
Yeah, it was supposed to
Yeah.
be last
May.
May, and then it came out in December.
So
So pretty much all Star Wars movies are just going to be December releases, right?
Except
Correct.
for this one.
Oh, wait, this one's May.
Yeah,
yeah,
but it's
this one's May.
But then
not
9 is
part of the
9
next
is
trilogy.
December.
Yeah.
the next
19.
trilogy will all be.
What's the next one after 9? Have they announced it
Is that the
officially?
start of Rain Johnson's trilogy?
I thought there was
I think
another
they'll
story.
have another one. I can't remember.
I guess the way I imagined it is they would do after 9, they'd do another Star Wars story, and then the
Yeah.
first episode of Ryan Johnson's movie trilogy, and then another story, and then another trilogy.
I
Is
think
it the one where
they talked about Kenobi.
a Jedi time travels and meets up with the Avengers?
Hopefully not.
Probably.
I mean,
They team up.
People would be very excited for that. I mean, I can.
Episode 9's 2019.
That's supposed to be May. It says episode 9.
Oh, is it? Oh, okay. I can-
Oh, May of
May
19, yeah.
May of 24th.
Of 19.
Yeah,
Next year.
yeah.
Directed
Not this
by the
year.
Jurassic World helmer, Colin Trevorrow. Wait, no. That's
yeah,
not right.
That's
This
all
is
old.
this is outdated.
That's
So I
outdated,
bet they
yeah.
already delayed it. That's the one I'm thinking of. They delayed to December then.
Yeah, it could be.
They talked about an Obi-Wan standalone.
Yeah,
and
I don't think anything's official yet.
I feel like there's a show on Thursday nights that talked about this.
Oh yeah. Sorry.
Eric, you did such a good transition, and then
And then I killed it.
I didn't help either.
Speaking of transitions, when sometimes when you get excited
December 20th,
about
2019.
Star Wars movies, you think about movie theaters and the movie theater experience because that's a movie you want to see in the theater.
Yeah.
One of the best snacks you can get at the concession stand while at a movie theater is a hot dog.
That's true.
Or a
And-
giant
true.
pickle.
And voted by popular
Oh, yeah.
demand, they
Hot
wanted
dogs.
us to talk about, is a hot dog a sandwich? And since that was just there to sabotage our own show, and you all decided that would be good,
We're going to take
Thank you,
this
everyone.
way
Talk
too
about it.
literally.
And if you don't know what we're talking about, then you're not following us on Twitter, and it's
Yeah.
your own
Shame.
fault.
at Minute
Follow.
Tub. We put up a poll last night. Vote what we should talk about, and you all voted on we should discuss whether a hot dog is a sandwich. A topic that's been
Again.
covered multiple times on the show. With
I think it's been covered on this show and the Tubcast.
I'm not sure. Maybe not the loop yet.
I think it
necessarily.
has been.
So
could
Let's
be
argue
wrong.
that.
yeah, let's talk about
Yeah.
that. I don't think it has.
I think it
Kyle.
has.
I'm pretty sure that the loop has never talked about
Well,
whether a hot
I
dog
feel
is
like
a sandwich.
now-
Actually, you're
has.
probably right.
Yeah.
Now, Kuipers has been so kind to put up a picture of a hot dog.
Lovely
They
graphic.
do
in their
look
buns.
really tasty. I mean, it's slightly heavy on the mustard for what I enjoy.
I would rather not have any mustard.
I'd
Please
rather have
remove
relish
it.
than
Just a little
mustard.
You
bit.
guys are.
No
I don't.
mustard.
I'd rather have lots of mustard.
Get rid of
You
all
No, I had hot,
the
I had
mustard.
hot dogs last week. I bought some of those
Just put ketchup
all
on it.
beef jumbo franks.
Were
They're
they-
like
You
the
just
size
ate
of a
them cold,
bratwurst,
didn't
but
you?
they're a hot dog.
What
And I
brand were
grilled
they?
them. They were
Ballpark?
no.
Oscar Mayer.
Yes, they were Oscar Mayer.
okay.
Yeah.
I've been eyeing these Kobe beef hot dogs, but I've not wanted to buy them because they're too expensive. I don't know.
Where do you get them at?
You have to order them online because I looked at like a ton of different stores. I like Trader
Hey,
Joe's.
you
I
know what?
looked
The cows,
Foods.
the Kobe cows, are murdered with a Japanese sword. So
Is that
it's-
why they taste so good?
Yeah, it's authentic Kobe beef murder.
No, it's the Los Angeles Lakers great Kobe.
Oh my gosh.
Oh, Kyle!
No, he's the one that kills the beef.
Oh.
I thought you were trying to say they were made out of.
No.
They're Kobe's beef.
These are some real all-star hot dogs.
I think they would be more expensive.
Oh, that's where. Oh, that's where Hall of Fame NBA Hall of Famers go when they die.
Yes.
It's like horses are turned into glue, and NBA Hall of Famers are turned into hot dogs. So yeah, that's
Fact check. Kobe's still alive.
I
And
have
he
got a
has-
hot dog at the.
Hey
at the movie
Siri,
theater.
is Kobe still alive?
Yes, and he has as many Oscars as Leonardo DiCaprio.
Is Kobe
two?
Bryant alive?
Here are Kobe Bryant's career stats in the NBA.
That's a great question. A great answer there, Siri.
Yeah, good job. Siri.
No, is Kobe Bryant still alive?
You should ask if he's
Here
dead.
are Kobe Bryant's career stats in the NBA.
Is Kobe Bryant dead?
Here are Kobe Bryant.
It doesn't want to tell you.
AI at its finest.
Why won't you tell me if Kobe Bryant is alive or not?
Okay, I found this on the web for why won't you tell me if Kobe Bryant.
You stop deflecting. Anyways, we'll never know. We'll just never know.
Ronan the Wanderer says he was on the Ellen show recently. So
It sounds like a show Snowflake would watch. All right, so there, is a hot dog a sandwich? It's got a condiment, it's got meat, and it's got bread. And I mean that. I think you have to ask yourself first: is a hamburger a sandwich?
It's a kind of sandwich.
Now, if you're
Yeah, it
willing to
absolutely
go
is.
as far to say that a hamburger is a sandwich, I feel like you have to say a hot dog
No!
is a sandwich.
I agree.
Never.
I mean,
A hot dog is not a sandwich.
Anything in a hoagie is a sandwich, and
Yeah,
a
that's
hot
a-
dog bun is a hoagie.
You communists.
hang on. I found a sandwich alignment chart that I think may help us with this.
but I mean, like a hoagie or a grinder is like a.
Wow, that was loud.
I turned my volume way up to hear
They're
the
all
Kobe thing.
sandwiches. I would say ketchup is not my normal
So-
go-to sandwich topping unless
Ew.
it's a burger.
Hang
Yeah.
on. So
Hot meat sandwich only.
there's the sandwich alignment that I found that's got structural purist, structural neutral, or structure rebel.
It's an
That's like a-
RPG
And then you've
chart.
got ingredient purist, ingredient neutral, and ingredient rebel. So the structure purist says that a sandwich must have a classic sandwich-shaped 2 pieces of bread, baked product,
Yeah.
with toppings in between.
But what kind of bread?
Baked product. So the
Baked?
So
It has to be baked?
Well, bread
Can't
is
even be
baked.
like-
Bread is
Yeah.
baked. They're talking about the bread.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So the structure purist, if you're looking at the hardline traditionalists, who are the structure purist and then ingredient purist, which must have a classic sandwich toppings, meat, cheese, lettuce, condiments, you're looking at like a BLT type of sandwich, or
So the only fast food place you can get that is Arby's.
No, that's not.
BLT.
I'm not saying
It's
that
the
the
only
BLT
sandwich
is
shop.
the only
Sonic.
real sandwich.
Can
No,
we-
I'm saying
Can we
there's-
show this chart on where
Yeah, you
everybody
should.
can
Yeah, let me get that. Kuipers has found it. yes.
Nice work, Kuipers.
Hey, real
Nice
quick,
work,
real quick, while
Kuipers.
Kuipers is doing that. D Train, welcome to chat.
Welcome.
Welcome
How's it
back.
going?
It's been a while. He says I like the change of backdrop. You've probably been gone since
that's-
we've added. We're in 29
don't-
episodes so far of the Loop. So this is a separate show from the Tubcast, which we still
Supposed
do
to
on
be.
Thursday nights. And we haven't really got into the video games. This is a talk show about video games. If you're tuning in right now, well, I don't know why, but maybe you're
But
live.
We're
like
following
D-Train.
a Twitter topic.
But our Twitter people ruined it for us.
They wanted us to talk about hot dogs. All right, so I really like this sandwich alignment
awesome
chart
chart.
because
agree.
if you are a radical sandwich anarchy, I just love that it's just straight up a Pop-Tart.
yeah, radical sandwich.
Well, that
anarchy.
makes sense actually,
But it's
because it's bread with a filling.
no, the structural rebel. No, so it's the structure rebel, which can contain any food enveloped in any way by a containing food.
So if you're true neutral, you would say that a hot dog is a sandwich.
It's very interesting. Yeah.
But the two of those on the bottom are obviously wraps.
But that's still a baked item. Although
Yeah,
you
but
don't.
it's
these-
wrapped.
Jeremy,
though,
read what it
versus
says under
sandwich.
structural rebel.
It says
don't-
a
When you
chicken-
put a blanket around you, you don't say you sandwiched yourself. You say you wrapped yourself. Okay?
True.
You sandwich yourself when you have two big guys on either side of you in the 3-seat aisle of an airplane, and you're the guy in the middle. You're sandwiched. Okay?
I feel like you
So-
debated
Go
this in a
on.
debate team in high school.
You have to have two separate pieces of external structure
Yeah.
to be a sandwich. That's how the word phrase.
But that's why they
otherwise
say,
it's wrapped.
Are you?
That's why
You're a
it's a
structural
structural
rebel because you're
But
you're
then
going
you don't
against.
understand English.
No,
No.
they're saying you're going against what the structure of a sandwich is
Yeah,
by
you're
wrapping.
saying
No,
a
Jeremy,
wrap is
Jeremy,
a sandwich.
Jeremy,
They're two different things.
The structural
That's
purist
what they're saying.
I know.
says that
I'm
it's
saying you don't
Jeremy,
understand English
listen,
if you're
Jeremy,
that person.
No, listen. There's a structural.
English has nothing to do with
Yeah.
it.
Yeah, because sandwich means something in between two things, not wrapped around it.
I know, but that's why they're saying you're being
That's-
a
yeah,
structure
yeah.
rebel because you're going against that. You're saying that the word doesn't mean what it means.
And you're not looking at what the actual alignment chart is saying. So the structural purist is 2 pieces of bread or a baked product with toppings in between. Structural neutral is a container that must be on either side of the toppings, but not necessarily 2 separate pieces.
Yeah,
in other
that's
words,
like a
like a
bun.
Subway sandwich where it's
Or a
been cut
Choco
in half,
taco.
or a taco. Exactly. A taco is a sandwich.
If any of you say that,
Taco's a
I don't
taco,
know.
a wrap is a wrap,
A
a
taco
burrito
is a
burrito.
structural neutral sandwich from Mexico.
crazy people.
And then the structural rebel, which can contain any food enveloped in any way by a containing food, which the
So
tortilla in a wrap, as you call it, would
As
be
I
a
call it,
containing
The
food.
tortilla is wrapped. That is English.
Okay, it doesn't.
It is wrapped
What is it?
around
Wait, hang on.
Actually, it's Mexican, I think.
the word wrapped. Is an
Tortilla.
action.
Or burrito.
Wrap is a verb.
Whatever.
Yes,
Trevor,
so is love.
correct me on it.
So
English.
no.
English
Wrap
major.
a wrap is a word.
it can
It
yeah.
means to cover or enclose something. It is not the definition of a food.
yeah.
You're calling it a wrap.
Well, that's because that's how the sandwich is built.
It's because they don't want to call everything a burrito.
You suppose there's a rap out there? Like a rap about raps?
Probably.
I
Yeah.
want to hear that.
So see, if you're looking
it
at your
up.
structural rebel and ingredient neutral, which means that it can contain a broader scope of savory ingredients, a burrito is a sandwich. And then, of course, if you're structural rebel, a Pop-Tart is a sandwich.
I have to know: is there radical sandwich anarchy? Does anybody like that exist? I have to know.
What do you mean?
I mean-
like a Pop-Tart exists, yeah.
No.
Well,
I mean, does
I mean,
anybody actually?
How
could
different?
they say
no,
that?
No, no. How,
That a Pop-Tart is a
believe that.
sandwich?
what if they didn't have a Pop Tart? What if instead they had, that local sandwich shop around here that has meat inside a bun,
It's a runza.
a runza. Not everyone knows what a runza is, but
They
it's
call it a
basically-
sandwich.
Well, of course they do, and technically a Pop Tart and a runza would be they would have the most similar commonality in this chart.
This is
And you would call that a sandwich.
This
So
is
why wouldn't you
destroying
call
me.
a Pop-Tart a sandwich? But I think a Pop-Tart's more of a sandwich than a wrap or a burrito is, or a taco, for that matter.
Wait a second, that rhymes with rap. Ah, crap again. I'm rhyming rap with rap. I'm gonna stop doing this crappy rap, so I'm gonna start singing about this rap. This is the part where I'm singing about the rap, I'm not singing about rapping. I'm
Is
singing
this something
about
you wrote
rap.
yourself, Eric? I feel like
When I'm not rapping about rap, I'm singing about rap. It's making me kinda hungry. I want a rap. I really want a
So, anyways, there is a song about raps, or rap about raps.
yeah.
I would have to say, if you're going to argue a hot dog is a sandwich, you might have to go ahead and agree that a Pop-Tart's a sandwich.
Yeah,
But I don't think that you'd have to agree a taco, burrito, or a wrap is a sandwich.
Okay, so
Why?
you're willing to go as far as say a Pop-Tart's a sandwich.
Yeah.
But it still encases it. Like, it's sealed, though. It's like a pocket. It's
Yeah.
sealed.
Yeah, I get that.
So
Yeah.
how does that not also like a wrap?
It doesn't even have to seal all the way around.
Okay, Jeremy.
It
I mean,
just
a
has
wait,
to-
Pop-Tart
hold on,
is
hold on.
basically a piece of bread that's
hold on,
been
hold on,
injected
hold
with
on.
a filling.
Hold
You
on.
could say a donut.
Hold on. A quesadilla. Now that's
That's
two
interesting.
tortillas. That's like
actually-
a sandwich.
That's more like a sandwich.
So
than
unless
a-
it fold
than a
over one.
burrito. That's
Because then
true.
it's more like a taco.
Well,
or
yeah, you could
or
fold
hot
over
dog.
a burrito shell and it's a quesadilla too, but you could also take two like tortillas and put them together and make a quesadilla.
This is madness.
Really, I think that the
But
honestly,
who would not call?
we've come to. I think I've come to an understanding that a sandwich means. I think anything that is food that envelops another food as a way of being able to bring the food to your mouth and eat would be a sandwich.
So you're saying that thing at KFC is a sandwich where they took 2
Pieces
fried
of
chicken
meat.
breasts and then they
Yeah.
put like bacon in between it.
Yeah,
That would
I
be a
think
sandwich.
I think that is the case.
I mean, they called it an unwich.
Chicken was
No, that's not an unwich.
No, that's something
Jimmy
else.
John's. That's where they
That's
wrap
Jimmy
it.
John's,
They
where
wrap
it's-
the meat and
See,
cheese
they
and
at
lettuce.
least don't. They at least don't call a wrap a sandwich.
They call it an unwich.
Yeah,
No,
but
it's not a sandwich.
Bo
It still
H
would be. It would be structural rebel sandwich.
Bohody
doesn't
7.
make it one.
Hi Bohody 7.
Hey, what's
oh, D Train has a good question. Is a corn dog a sandwich?
No.
Well,
It's fried.
No.
But so is a.
I mean,
No, and here's why. Because if you're looking at it from the radical sandwich anarchy side of things,
Then it could be.
it couldn't be because you are not delivering the food to yourself with the food itself.
It's on a stick.
It's on a
Because the
stick. You're
stick
using the
is-
stick. That's like using a fork for something.
Yeah, that's true.
So it's not really a sandwich.
Kuipers, did you just compare some radical sandwich anarchists and flat earthists?
Pop Tarts are a sandwich.
Possibly.
So you're saying if someone thinks a Pop Tart's a sandwich, they might also be inclined to think the Earth is flat.
I don't know about you guys, but I'm saying that about myself.
I mean, to
Well,
me,
now I believe that the
but
Earth
then
is
what
flat.
about a jelly donut?
Okay, D Train says
Because that's what a Pop
jelly
Tart is,
donut.
right?
That is
Isn't a
kind
Pop
of a
Tart
sandwich.
like a smashed jelly donut?
Jelly donut would
You
kind
people
of
are
be a
insane.
rebel, structure rebel, and ingredient rebel sandwich. D Train says, "What about mini corn dogs?
They don't have a
No.
stick. He
They
has
don't have a
point.
stick.
He does have a point. Now they're
But
bite-sized.
which came first, the corn dog or the mini corn dog?
Well, does that
Is that
matter?
relevant?
I think so.
Question
How?
was that?
Because
They're delivered to your mouths different ways.
Chicken sandwich or the egg sandwich?
Hey, Kyle. Hey, Kyle.
it's a valid question because you're talking
Really?
about shrinking down something into in delivering it in a different way than what it was originally intended
Yeah,
as.
It
It's
wouldn't
like-
have been called the mini corn
It's
dog.
like taking.
It would have been called a corn dog.
Then therefore, I
It's like
think that a
taking
mini
a
corn
chicken
dog.
breast and
Wait, hold on.
slicing
Wait,
it into
Kyle.
thin strips and having it cold and putting it between two pieces of bread.
Kyle, this is how we solve your argument. If the mini corn dog would have been first, it would have just been called the corn dog, and the one on the stick would be called the big corn dog or the
Right.
giant
You're
corn
right.
Or the
corn dog
stick
on a
dog.
I'm just imagining somebody inventing it. I have invented the mini corn dog.
Sandwich.
And then they're just like, what's a corn dog? I don't know, but it's a little bit bigger than this one.
Oh no!
The reason that I said that is because I think that the corn dog, since it came first and was on a stick, was not a sandwich. So the mini corn dogs, I don't think would technically fall under it.
Sure, sure.
Although it could be construed as a
Kuipers,
radical
what are you
sandwich
trying to
anarchy.
say?
What about omelets?
I mean, that's still like a quesadilla, kind of.
Well,
Yeah,
depends
no,
on how
'cause
you
the-
make your
'Cause
omelet.
the egg itself has the stuff cooked in it, doesn't it?
I mean,
But
if
sometimes you put the
if
stuff inside.
If you cook
Yeah.
the egg and then you fold it over,
Yeah.
then it's
like a
probably more
quesadilla.
like a taco.
Yeah.
It's like an egg taco.
But if you put it in and mix it up, then
but
Pop Tart.
is the but is the egg the means of
Why couldn't it
eating?
be?
I mean, at Taco Bell it is right now.
Now, what if you had an
The
omelet
the naked
inside of a
egg
bread
taco.
wrap?
It'd be a sandwich.
What about a Frenchie though? A Frenchie is like a grilled cheese that they deep fry.
It's a sandwich that they then deep fry.
So it's like a
Yeah.
corn dog. A mini
But
corn
it's
dog.
not on a
It's
stick.
like a mini corn dog.
Is it
It's
a
a corn
sandwich
dog.
anymore?
not a stick.
If the or is the sandwich the ingredient?
Why don't they call it a
Right,
corn
wait.
sandwich?
The sandwich is the ingredient inside of that. It's no longer a sandwich. The sandwich itself is just an ingredient.
Yeah, that's true.
We did have
No, or it's just a different way that the sandwich
did-
is made.
Has Jay Oliver redeemed 2 Kuipers dances now?
I think there's just one.
Yeah, he was not able to do it correctly the first time.
Oh, okay.
And he says for when you're done. D Train is right. So you
Well, that
eat
might
an
not-
omelet with a fork, so that
Well, do
technically-
you?
I would love to see this. Let's go to an egg place.
What is a chip buddy?
And have
Can we-
Jeremy eat an omelet
Can we
with
go
his
back?
hands.
Can we go back to structural purist?
Is that something you would be willing to do?
Sure. Can we go back to structural purist, ingredient neutral? What is a chip butty?
There's a lot of chips in that sandwich.
A chip buddy is.
What is that? That's the only thing up there I think I've never.
It looks like it's got like
had.
Cheetos in it. You've never put chips on your sandwich?
Or it looks like a French fry sandwich, maybe. Or
Oh, chips like in French
Oh,
fry.
yeah,
they
it's
call it.
probably
like fish and chips.
Hang on, I'm looking
I
at
just want to go to a
I'm looking
store
it up.
or a
This
restaurant
this
and order
looks
a
like
chip
this is
buddy.
a thing. A
it's
chip buddy is a sandwich made with
See,
chips,
there you go.
i.e. French fried potatoes on buttered white bread.
That sounds pretty tasty.
They've had like
Like fish and
sometimes
chips.
like delis will do like corned beef, but then they'll
Oh, I
pile
love
a
corned
bunch
beef
of
sandwiches.
fries on the sandwich and serve it
that
to you.
sounds really
way.
good.
Yeah. All right, we've got to move on to probably better thing, maybe video games here that we've been playing or something. But
nonsense.
we should probably let Kuipers have a dance here real quick.
That'd
so
be like a good reboot.
Kuipers, let me get you a dance.
You don't see him, guys, but he's on the side of the studio here, stretching.
And
Okay.
flipping us off. You
well,
jerk.
Yeah,
Why would you do
that's
that?
True too.
Don't do that.
Wow! Whoa, Kuiper.
Kuipers. Okay,
whoa.
that's just really way too aggressive. I
With
can't even
both
describe
hands.
what you just did.
Wow.
All right.
D-Train is right. He says, glad to know pizza rolls are a sandwich as well. Agreed.
Oh, wait a second, that rhymes with rap. Ah, crap again. I'm rhyming rap with rap. I'm gonna stop doing this crappy rap, so I'm gonna start singing about
I feel like he's
this
got some
rap.
moves this week. He's been practicing. Oh, he still did the waterfall
He's
thing.
doing this. He's doing the same hand moves. Now he's making out with himself.
He's rapping himself.
What he's doing is he's actually wrapping himself up in his headphone.
Singing about sandwiches.
I really want a rap. I really want a rap. So I haven't said anything about the rap, and when I say rap, I'm talking about raps. The kind of rap that when you rap, you use the rap to rap the rap. And when you rap about raps, you gotta rap.
I don't know what
about the
these
rapping
dances
of the rap when you
are.
making a rap.
What are these
Everybody
moves?
in the house say rap. Rap. Everybody in the house say rap.
Rap.
Oh, right.
Oh, wait.
Rap.
That's a rap. That was so shit.
Kuipers, he was really offended by your dancing. He did not like it at all.
Didn't expect that.
I feel like it's still PG-13.
Yeah, we still fall under that ban somewhere. D-Train says, can he successfully do 3 Fortnite emote dances?
Probably not.
I need to do research first.
Okay, yeah, get on that.
Next week.
Yeah, can we get the Drake dance as well?
D-Train, that's Hotline Bling. D-Train also says, glad to know pizza rolls are sandwiches as well. That's true.
Yeah.
I guess they fall under that because they are like 2 pieces.
So are
though.
calzones.
Think
Are
about
they?
it. Yeah,
Are
they're
they?
like
No.
Yeah,
two
they're pinched together.
pinched together.
That's
pieces.
true.
It's like
That's
grilled
true.
cheese.
Yeah.
You know what
Well,
I
it
like?
doesn't have to be 2 pieces though. That's what we
You guys
just
ever had a spaghetti
established
sandwich?
here.
Oh yes, it's amazing.
Because if you remember those sandwich makers in the '90s, where you'd put the 2 pieces of bread in there,
Oh, and you'd
Or you
squish
could do
the
8
edges and
yeah, and
make
it would
these
melt it together,
triangles?
yeah, and it'd cut it, yeah. So
Yeah.
what I do is I would take the leftover spaghetti in the sauce and the meat and all this mixed together, put it in the bread, and then put cheese in there, and then I'd put butter on the outside of the bread and put a little garlic salt, so it's like garlic toast.
Well, see, that's like
Sear it together, and then you got these triangles, pockets filled with
that sounds
pea- Oh,
amazing.
it's so good.
I normally
sounds
just
really
take the
good.
garlic, 2 slices of garlic bread, and then scoop my spaghetti on it and make a sandwich and then eat it.
Oh, okay,
Whenever
yeah.
I have spaghetti,
Like
that's
leftovers?
what I no.
Oh, just
the regular meal. I'm like, I need me some.
Carbs on my carbs.
Yeah, exactly.
Anyways, spaghetti sandwich. It's the thing. So what's everybody been playing? Anybody been playing any video games?
Yep.
Has video games been
We
happening?
got our chicken dinner today on the PUBG.
Oh, on Radical Heights, huh? Still
No,
playing
on the
that, huh?
PUBG. I have gotten second place a few times on Radical Heights. I actually do really. Have you played it yet?
Yeah.
Do you like it? Do you
No.
think it's bad?
I don't think it's bad. I think it's just too early for me to like actually. have
To
fun
be
with
into it? No, it makes sense.
It's just like
They put out a patch today.
I
so
like
it's
its
a little
I
nicer.
kind of like its style. Like I like what it's heading for. I heard that it'll play cool '80s songs when you win.
Yeah.
Like Danger Zone or I don't know, something else.
Is there some Rick Astley in it?
I
See,
don't know.
that seems like that would be a great opportunity to rickroll.
Well, yeah,
Did you
there-
guys hear about the VHS tape thing? This is
What?
totally going off the track.
The fact
Let's
that
do
they
it.
don't
It was on
make
Inside. It was on Inside Edition, and this guy found a VHS in a Goodwill or a thrift shop that just said surprise or something like that on the VHS tape, and it had this creepy drawn smiley face on it. So he's like, oh, I bet this is like a snuff film or a murder film or something. And so he brought it home and put it in his VCR, and it was just the Rick Astley song music video, Never Gonna Give You Up. So someone went to a lot of work to physically rickroll him in the real world.
It actually cost him money.
That was awesome.
That's great.
So you got a chicken dinner. That's good, Jeremy.
Yeah. So I've been playing
Glad
a
we
little
have
more.
a platform on Twitch for you to brag.
Thank you. The reason, though, that I've been playing it
Streams or it
is,
didn't happen.
they have partially released in beta a new map. It's a 4x4 grid map.
The tropical one.
It's got an underground cave system as part of it, so there's some depth, if you will.
Johnny Depth.
Yes, yeah, the exact thing. But they're only releasing so many keys at a time, and
for
you have to
people
get
to
it, and
play
it's
that
a
map.
separate download for the map.
Did you do any of the events?
And I have not had a chance to do it. I did also this weekend do the event.
The war was it war or was it?
I forget what they called it, but it was 5 teams of 10 dropped into a small section of one of the 2 main maps. And if you're outside of it, you're automatically hurt.
That's the
But
one where
there's
they give you the weapon that you have to use.
They give you a weapon. It's random
To
every
start
time
with.
you fall. So some people get better weapons, some people get less weapons. Sometimes you get a grenade, or sometimes you get health as your secondary, stuff like that. But it's the one thing I didn't like playing it. But the one thing that I did think was unique about it, it gives people who consider PUBG more of a run and hide sort of game because they're less comfortable with their shooting. It gives you the ability to practice that fast-paced shooting response time and things like that, which I think will transition into better gameplay for you in the main game.
Yeah.
So I'm glad they're trying new things. And I've been trying to get the map, but I haven't been able to get a key yet. So
Bummer.
anyway.
I think the 50v50 Fortnite
That was
event
pretty
is
cool.
happening this week again.
Is it?
Yeah.
Oh,
we should get
Yeah.
in some of that.
Yeah, I want to try that.
We should stream some.
Anybody else been playing anything?
Finished up Far Cry.
Good job, Kyle.
Nice.
Yeah.
Which way?
The good way.
Is there a good way?
I don't know if there's a
When you set me up for it like that,
The goodest way.
I mean, I think I picked the right way, but that's just because I have a
I really want to talk about it because I think
Yeah.
the way you think it ended is not the way it ended.
well, I know because I only played through one of the endings.
No, the way the ending you played through, I think, didn't end how you thought it ended. And I want to explain that. But has everyone beat it up here now?
Not yet.
Oh, man.
Trevor, what's
okay,
wrong
so
with
when
you?
Trevor leaves
I
early
beat
after
his-
the show,
I beat
we'll talk
Trevor
about
in
it,
the
guys.
Yeah, it's probably not the first time. I don't think Trevor finishes games.
That's true.
Well, it's been a really.
He doesn't
weird
even
week,
play
too.
games he buys.
I don't know. It's been a very.
You were
strange
playing
week.
Borderlands today.
I was playing Borderlands, and actually, I went back and I've been playing BioShock Infinite. Mainly because I wanted to do the DLC because I never did that, and I was just like I wanted to refresh myself on the story, so I started playing through the campaign. But which it's funny how it was kind of weird playing Far Cry and then this because they actually have very similar things because they're both like cults that are kind of loosely based off like a form of Christianity, and to where it's like I don't know, but they're like. I don't know. It's really it's good though, but it's funny how much that game has already aged. Because it didn't seem
that
like
was
it came out that long
The
ago.
DLC's been out for a long time.
Oh
hasn't
yeah,
it?
it's been out forever.
Yeah.
I just
Yeah.
recently saw some stuff and I was like, I should give that a try. And I've
Infinite
just
came out
I
in-
don't know
13?
something like
Yeah,
that. It's been
13.
out for a while.
Because there was a news story that that BioShock 4 could be under development. I saw recently, but I don't. It's kind of just rumors at this point. But
God of War comes out tomorrow?
Friday.
It says tomorrow. Anyway.
Tomorrow
maybe
midnight.
it's probably on
Probably
Friday.
tomorrow at like
Yeah.
11. Well,
Probably
depending on where
11.
you're at.
You guys
They
all
wanted to
are
ship
you guys all
that'd
getting
be
it?
awesome.
Heck yeah.
Cool.
I know you tried to help me out with GameFly by tweeting at him.
I just thought I'd get some brand
Yeah.
engagement, but obviously their social media manager's an idiot and missed an opportunity.
Yeah,
to
totally didn't respond or anything. I should tweet at him right now.
just be like, hey, you could at least be like, oh, that's nice. But no.
Yeah.
That's a weird. Yeah,
the
that's
Twitch channel is totally
so-
bashing on you guys.
So
Check it out.
you went and played BioShock and you played Borderlands.
Well,
Are you
especially-
stuck in 2013, Trevor?
Borderlands is also one of my favorite games of all time. Today I just played that for a little bit just because my head's been feeling weird and I just needed something to relax to.
Okay.
And,
Burnout Paradise City. Duh.
I don't know. I was wanting to play on my PC for some reason.
Because you had a weird for some reason.
Because PC is the only way to play.
Oh. Okay. Anyways, this week I haven't. I mean, I finished Far Cry last week, and then I'm just like, I don't know what to play. So I bought Minute, and I've been playing that, and that's actually really good. It's on PC and PS4. It's I don't know, has anybody played that?
I've
is
heard
it
of it.
called?
I
It's
haven't played
called Minute. It's MINIT.
What's it about? What's it like?
Imagine if a game was running on an Atari, but it was like obviously much more technically advanced than an Atari. Although you could almost play it with that, I bet, because the buttons, you only use like your directional, and then you only use a couple buttons. But it's what it is it's a really cool concept because it's kind of the top down like classic Zelda look, but it's all black and white. It's just black background with white objects on the screen and white art. And you're this little character and you run around this world and you only live for a minute. So you get 60 seconds to try to figure out what to do next. But the cool thing about it is everything
Do you progress then?
Yeah, every time you find an item that progresses you get to keep that. So, or if you alter something in the world significantly, that also progresses with you. So if you can do that in that 60 seconds, and then as you go around, you'll find like you start in this little hut. As you go to, Kuiper's just putting some video of it up on the screen. But as you go to like a different house or something like that, that's your new spawn point. So it'll tell you like, this is your new home, and you'll spawn there, but then you got to backtrack and like, and it's just so funny because there's this one part, it's early in the game, so this isn't a spoiler, but it's got a really good, like, just kind of sense of humor, and you feel it's just exciting to like to discover new stuff. But there's this part where you find this lighthouse and this old turtle is standing out there, and usually the characters will talk to you, but this turtle, his text comes across to where you can only read what he says if you wait the whole minute. It's so slow. So it's just like, like
Is there something good in it though?
It gives you a hint to something that I haven't even been able to get to yet, but it's like obviously worth waiting the minute.
Or
to
watching
hear.
on YouTube.
You could, but I mean, it's 60 seconds, so that you go through fast, and sometimes you're just like, I don't know where to go, I don't know what to do. But
So death is not the end of the game then.
That sounds like or watching it on YouTube seems like that just completely defeats the purpose
you wouldn't
of
want to
the
do
game
that at
No,
all.
I'm just saying.
Yeah, that wouldn't be the way to play
I
this
mean,
game.
if you are going to play it,
And I mean, when you're talking about it takes 60 seconds, that's nothing when you're in the comparison to playing a
Yeah.
good game. Like but it's just such a cool concept. And like, I was playing it a little bit tonight, and I was just like, I'll feel stuck. And then it's kind of that Zelda thing of like, oh, okay, I got the key to do this thing to unlock this, or I got this tool that
So now I
does
need to
this,
go
and then
do
I can
that.
go do the, and it just kind of.
So I'm surprised it's not mobile.
I know.
mean, it just
I was.
seems
I thought
like
for
it
sure
should be.
it would be perfect for like the Vita or the Switch, and it's not on either of those platforms, which is kind of a bummer.
is it on just PC?
So it had to do with how they
no,
coded
it's on
it then.
it's on PC and PlayStation 4. I'm playing it on PlayStation 4, but it's
Oh.
also on PC. It's $10. It's definitely worth it. I've heard that the game can take people anywhere from an hour and a half to maybe 3 hours, depending on how sucky you are, I guess. But so it's a shorter game, but man, it's
So it'll take
it's a
me
lot of fun.
3.5, 4 hours.
Maybe. And I'm really kind of screwing around and testing the limits of it just to see what
Mm-hmm.
I can do. And like, I'm not actually like, I haven't been playing it just to beat it. So I'll probably.
So you're gonna
Are you
die at
saying that
least
'cause you've been
100
playing
times.
about
Oh,
4 hours
I think I've already died 75 times. It said. So
There you go.
What's that?
Oh, I was just being stupid and making fun.
You can press circle just to die immediately. So that like, if you don't, let's say you go somewhere and you're like, I don't got time to get back, I just want to respawn or whatever. Boom, just hit it. So anyways, that game's called Minute. It's MINIT. If you're looking for a cheap game, that's pretty fun. Check it out. But other than that, I haven't been playing anything. I've just been reading God of War reviews.
Getting
I was
prepared.
like, I was so happy because like that's one thing I really wish more games would do that, where they're just like, we're gonna let you get the reviews like a week early.
Yeah, they
And
lift
it's
the
just
embargo.
yeah, but that means they know their game is good.
yeah.
Yeah, well,
Whereas
it's
most
just,
games, they're giving you the beta.
it's just such a nice like vote of confidence, and obviously it really paid off with this.
I think this is the highest. Like, I mean, obviously everybody's against reviews around here, but I think this is the highest reviewed game of this generation. I think.
Yeah,
right.
that's what I was pretty shocked by because I would never have expected that of a God of War game.
Well, those games have always reviewed well.
No,
but
I don't. I don't mean they've
this.
ever been bad. I wouldn't have ever expected it to be, the game.
Yeah.
Whatever.
Well, and I think though, going back to saying they're not bad. I mean, there were 3 of them that were like the main games, and they had obviously like the PSP versions, and there was like another spinoff. But they were all the same game. Like it was like button mashing, quick time events. Like not Kratos is angry. That's the end.
Gory.
Of it. Yeah, I mean, and this just looks like the layers in it. It's just I don't know. I've been reading a lot, listening to people talk about it, and like hoping they're not spoiling too much. But I'm just so curious about what this game is because it's obviously not a standard God of War game to be as good as it sounds.
I was also intrigued the fact that it's Norse mythology this time instead of just like the Greek.
Well, and there's a reason because he killed all the Greek gods. So, and I've heard some things about this game which are really intriguing because it's like, so he killed all the Greek gods and now he's in this he left to the where's north? It's more north or whatever.
Yeah.
In north, like so he's in the. And his wife died, and this is all stuff that everybody knows. It's at the beginning of the game, but his wife has died, and he's got his son there. And so obviously Kratos, like he doesn't really know anything about the Norse gods, but obviously he killed all the Greek gods, and and there's like this kind of like he's kind of just the grumpy old dude, and his son is he grew up in the Norse mythology, so like he knows about these Norse gods, where Kratos is kind of blowing it off like I freaking killed all the Greek gods, who cares about these Norse gods? And then when he encounters one, he's like okay buddy, like what do you know about this guy, like what's his weak point, so it's like this kind of weird like acknowledgement of okay, maybe I don't know what's going on, but my son, I don't know, just the way it sounds, this interaction with the father-son dynamic in this game. It sounds.
He looks really, really good.
Yeah, just the stuff of like him. It sounds like he'll just like I heard that when you're in the boat, there's like like a GTA style like dialogue or whatever you want to call that. Like kind of like not foreshadowing, but it's giving context to whatever. Mm-hmm. And you get out of the car and maybe those conversations end in a GTA. Well, this one, like if you dock the boat or go up on land go to shore before the conversation's over, they'll start to get out and it's like the kid will still be yammering and he'll be like, oh, talking is for the boat, son, and like or something like that. He'll just kind of like
That's
so
funny.
I love that he's a little bit of a jerk to his kid, but yet like if anything happens, like he's really quick to try to save him. And, I don't know. I'm really excited to play this game. But.
I'm kind of like this is just something like I kind of wonder what it's like for the voice actor.
Oh yeah.
For Kratos, just because he's gone from being this this angry,
I'm just mad at everything.
not very nuanced character at
yeah.
all, to this like much more nuanced and like full character. And it's like I wonder about what honestly he prefers, because I can imagine it might be more fun, but I don't know.
I would imagine he enjoys this more, but I mean, you would think anybody who's been doing voice acting as long as this guy has, that it would be a little more enjoyable to do something different. But.
It's just nice that they kept the same guy, because I could have totally seen them
be like,
going
oh,
with
he
something.
couldn't handle the nuance of this character now or whatever. Yeah.
And be like, oh, we gotta change it. It's like Kojima with Snake.
I mean, at this point, old Kratos, old Snake.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing. They'd probably hang out.
Totally.
Yeah. But yeah, I don't. Jeremy, do you have any plans to play this game? Are you gonna check it out at all?
No.
No. Okay, thought so.
Yeah.
He doesn't care.
I did buy the digital version, so
Yeah.
I mean,
So you're meaning
There's
you'll let me
nothing you can
download it
do
on
to
my
play it.
computer?
There's nothing. Yeah.
there's
I got
absolutely
you.
no way for you to
I
play
thought
it.
you changed that.
I did change it, but I
Yeah,
think
see?
I don't
Anyway.
know.
Actually, so did I. There's no way you could play it because
Oh,
anyways.
okay.
No, actually, I don't know how that works. Don't you have to make your other PlayStation the main one or something?
I did make mine the primary system.
So you'd have to make the one in the studio the primary system again or something.
Yeah.
Right?
Or you'd have to log in and just download it.
No,
We
I
should
could
boot that
just
thing
download it for you.
again once in a
Make
while.
sure the PlayStation still runs.
Yeah, make sure it runs.
But yeah, that I don't know. Kyle's hoping GameFly gets it to him someday.
Yeah.
maybe
Maybe like
maybe before next
Sunday.
week.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah.
keep your fingers
Guess
crossed.
I'll have to just like play other lesser games.
You should try Minute. No, I'm just kidding. It's probably not for everybody, but it's a fun little jaunt. Should we talk about another topic, like a real thing?
No, yes.
Okay.
I suppose there's that.
This was kind of an interesting thing that broke yesterday.
Our
on
hot dog sandwiches.
On a bunch of yes. You voted for this on our Twitter poll, and now we're going to discuss finally
Again.
our hot dogs sandwich. D-Train says 1 week away from Infinity Wars. Honestly, the only thing I'm looking forward to this month. Okay.
You probably don't have a PS4 then.
No. Ouch.
Wow.
I mean,
Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
Hopefully it's good. I hope it's all that we want it to be.
I'm excited. I did kind of forget it's coming out in a week though.
I know I went and saw Black Panther just because it was coming out. I'm like, I don't know if I'm going to see it on opening night, but I know I'm probably going to need to see Black Panther before I see it, so I want to be prepared. Okay.
now you are prepared.
I guess I'm prepared, whether I see it on opening night or not. Black Ops 4 was announced a while back, and everybody got excited and things, well, except for Trevor.
Because we
he
knew
hates it.
another
It's fine.
Call of Duty was coming.
Well, everybody knows that, but I don't think that they knew
What it was going to be.
that it was going to be a Black Ops game necessarily, because
they're Black Ops.
but this was announced.
It wasn't that funny.
Yeah.
They're secretive.
Yeah, we get it, Kyle.
Black Ops.
Kyle, we
Yeah,
get it.
Good job.
Good job. You gave yourself the drum roll too, Kyle.
Nailed it.
You felt very. Now you even said nailed it. Oh, you suck! With
There
your
we go.
own voice recorded to yourself.
That wasn't my own voice.
Oh, it sounds like you.
Nailed it.
it's Andy Dwyer.
That's Andy Dwyer.
Whoa, that sounded like Kyle.
Sounded like me.
Yeah, it sounds like Kyle.
Nailed it.
Anyways, so the real news here, not that Black Ops is coming out. I get it. That every cynical human being is going to go, oh, obviously, it's Black Ops. But the headline here is that there's not going to be a campaign. Now, I don't know if Treyarch has actually came out and solidified this news.
No,
They've
it
not.
was
They're waiting.
leaked information.
Yeah.
They say.
They're waiting for a reveal that's supposed to take place on May 17th.
At
is
E3?
when the no, it's before
no, it's
then.
their own event
May
that they
17th.
scheduled
they're,
already.
They're supposed. They already had it scheduled that they were going to announce more information on
Okay.
May 17th.
Gotcha.
So, that was when everything's supposed to come out. Maybe there will be the speculation and the sources that said that this is going to be something is that as release date was approaching, they kind of came to the conclusion that they wouldn't have a single player campaign completed by then. So it doesn't sound like that's something that was actually the goal, was to eliminate it.
It's gonna be a DLC.
I
That's
mean,
my assumption.
Oh, so they're saying we aren't going to have it ready.
yeah, they said it sounds like the
boy.
sources that have said that it was said this anonymously said that as the Black Ops 4 release date approached, it became evident that development on the single player campaign wouldn't be completed. One source said that Treyarch has since focused Black Ops 4's development on expanding multiplayer in the series' popular zombie mode.
Which means they've pulled
They pulled everybody from
engineers from
the
doing
single
campaign
player.
to do. Which you're torn. You're upset or you're disappointed, right, Eric? I'm
No,
I kind of feel like because you always that was what you liked about those games.
I mean, that is the only reason I would buy it. I just feel like there's been enough conditioning to gamers now to be sold games that aren't finished, that this was inevitable. When you look at things like when Fortnite first came out and people bought a beta on a disc and they didn't even realize they were buying a beta, or recently with Sea of Thieves, these games are not done. They're just partially finished games, and they're
Sea of Thieves.
you're wrong, but that's fine.
I'm not.
That is not a finished game.
How many hours have put into it?
That doesn't matter.
It does matter.
I
Hours
think it
does not matter about that. Doesn't make it a finished game. Just because you played the same thing over and over again doesn't make it as if you
you know,
if you
that's a
bought
different
if you
argument,
downloaded a
you know?
demo of a game that only had one level, you could play that demo for 50 hours just playing that one level over and over. That doesn't mean it's a game that you a full finished
But I mean,
game.
have you completed what you consider the beta then?
No, but that's still.
Okay.
Well, you mean I haven't done the thing over and over and over and over again until I get the reward for doing the thing over and over and
the
over
argument
again?
is that that's actually the loop of the game rather than it not actually being finished.
Correct, which they were very open about if you paid attention to their
I know that's
information
fine.
for the last year
Okay,
and a half.
so I
I'm just
won't
saying,
use that as an example. No
it's
Man's
not-
Sky
it's
then
nothing they
whatever.
didn't- I'm
They're
just
all
saying
the
it's
same.
nothing
No
they
Man's
didn't
Sky,
say it would be is all I'm
Especially
saying.
with everything that they've built on.
That's what I'm saying.
I think that one I can agree with you
I
on
could
that.
agree with No Man's Sky.
But how can you guys agree with No Man's Sky and not Sea of Thieves? What's the difference? They're both the same thing. When the No Man's Sky is identical to the way Sea of Thieves is when it's released. It's you do the same thing over and over and over again to get a reward that's kind of a
they were very open about what was going to be available.
Yeah.
I mean,
How was No Man's Sky not very open about that? They didn't. The only thing that people complained about No Man's Sky was that there was no multiplayer, and everybody said, "Oh, I thought I could see my friends on the planet," and that's what everybody complained about.
Well, there was a lot of stuff that they showed off that looked like it was going to be more than what it actually was. That's the biggest
I'm
difference.
just saying I don't
with-
think Sea of Thieves they sold it as anything other than what it was.
I think with
they were
Sea of
very
Thieves,
open
they've
about
said
what it is.
was going to be, and that a lot of people that had already played the beta and the alpha had gotten the loop. Just like any multiplayer game that you get like Titanfall, playing a beta for that, it was essentially that you're getting the entire game. It's just that you're getting it only on one map. Whereas Sea of Thieves, the beta and
That's
alpha,
not true. Titanfall had a
well, okay, but you're not
Campaign.
getting all of the maps.
The latest
and all
one
of
did.
the latest one. You're right.
Yeah.
I'm saying like the first one. When you play a beta of that, you had essentially played the full game.
I am not saying I don't like Sea of Thieves. I'm saying it's not a finished game. That's all I'm saying. I don't think it's a finished game. They've even said it themselves. So that's my point, is that now we've become conditioned to pay $60 for betas or for early access or for whatever. And now they're okay with that. And now they're going, hey, you know what? It's not done. Whatever. We'll add it later. It's fine. And as a consumer, it's bullcrap, because then you're going, I'm going to spend $60 on this thing on a promise that it's going to be something else. And that's the same thing with Sea of Thieves, is you're buying a promise that it's going to be something more later on.
I think the
And
difference
that's-
with this
and
is-
this we don't know anything about. That's the difference.
We don't
about
know
it.
this, but I also think that the difference with this is that if you talk to most people that play Call of Duty, I don't think that there are that many that are as invested in the single player as there are in the
100%.
the multiplayer.
I would
So-
argue Call of
Yeah.
Duty. The last few Call of Duties have been 3 games in one. The campaign was its own game. Some people played it just for that, and they played it and they were done. Some people never played the campaign and only played the multiplayer because that's why they bought Call of Duty. That's probably the vast majority. And then there was those people who got really into zombies. I know we talked about this on the last time the last Call of Duty, because you guys know I'm a big fan of the zombie mode. And I think the zombie mode should have been a standalone game from the get-go. I think they'd have significant buy-in to sell that game sell it as a separate game and grow it. And so I'm actually I'm torn on this. I'm disappointed because I enjoyed the campaign, but I'm kind of excited because I'm glad they're putting more effort into the zombie
You don't know that they
platform.
are, though.
From what we're hearing.
What are you hearing? You're hearing that they didn't finish the campaign, so they potentially could have been putting in just the same effort as they always have, but they didn't get the campaign done. And so the zombies and the multiplayer had just
article
an
is
equal
saying
amount
that
of effort.
The sources stated that they weren't going to finish it, so they reinvested those resources into
But,
those.
I mean,
other
how
pieces.
how early did they pivot, though?
Well,
So,
that's
like,
you know,
how do
that, you're
we
right.
don't
There's
know.
so much
that
we
we
don't
don't know.
Well, that's what.
I'm,
But I
I'm
think-
excited about the potential. Is
I
what
think
I'm
the
saying.
difference with this is that the idea of hey, we're not going to make deadline with this, so let's just cut bait and focus on the important part of the game, which is the multiplayer. And that's
Sure. I mean,
with
the numbers.
this game,
the numbers
that makes sense.
That's fine. I'm not going to buy it, but that's fine. So I want to real quick, Irrelevant Native, thank you for the 100 bits. That's very generous of you. Thank you for donating. Leroy Benson, we're talking about Black Ops 4. It's Call of Duty, but not Call of Duty 4. And did I miss anything else? I'm sure I did. Sorry if I missed something else. Yeah, there is rumors that Modern Warfare 2 is supposed to be packaged with this something. I mean, they did that with the last Call of Duty. They gave you first Modern Warfare. Yeah, I guess I'm not. I just think that this is it's just where we're headed with games. Game development's expensive. We get it. All right.
That's the whole
So
software as a
let's-
service. I mean, it's happening.
And that's where we're getting. That's
it's happening
not,
everywhere else. It's not just video
yeah,
games.
it's like it's just not my type. It's not the gameplay I enjoy. So like,
Yeah.
I'm not excited about this. I think it's lame. I think,
Yeah.
and that's fine if people want to buy into it, and if people are going to support it. And that's the thing is they know it. You know what they're going to do? They're going to say, hey, look at our friggin' battle royale mode we just got on.
Well,
it.
yeah,
That's what they're going to do. They're going to release that.
A
and
lot of
then-
us are gamers, though, who play a game and move on to the next game, whereas there is a huge section of gamers
Oh, I know.
who play one game
Yeah, sure.
for years.
I get it. That's their
That's
choice.
they're
That's-
marketing
that's
towards
what-
that, I think, more.
And that's a moneymaker because people can buy cosmetics, they can buy, they can do
Yeah.
all this stuff, they can do the microtransactions, and that's great. But it's like it's just like I've got to. This is a realization now that they're doing this. I just feel like now it's like okay, I'm old, whatever you can say that, but I have to get over it. But it's just like okay, we've been conditioned to know that they can sell us these unfinished games, and say. There you go. You just spent your $60. You're going to play this for 100 and
You're
200
buying into
hours
a service versus
because
buying a finished,
this is what you like,
a completed platform. You're buying into a service.
Yeah. And so I know I'm in the minority because I usually bought these games to play even though maybe it was only 8 hours, I played a campaign and I paid $60 for it, and other people played this game for 200 hours and they paid the same amount.
Or
I still would rather pay the $60 for the campaign. That's just me. I get it. I'm in the minority. So,
Yeah.
but go
I
ahead.
love the campaign, but I love the other.
What were you gonna
parts.
say, Trevor?
This kind of just removes the reason for me to ever buy a Call of Duty game.
Yeah.
Because the only reason I ever really bought them was campaign.
Mm-hmm.
I would go on the multiplayer and be like, oh, this is kind of fun, but I'd so much rather play something else. So
I think the interesting thing is if they keep moving forward with no campaign, then there's actually
They
no
will.
reason for them. Well, then there's no reason for them to actually come out with new games. Instead,
Yeah.
they could just do DLCs forever.
Well, it wouldn't even be DLC. They could just release
Additional map,
COD
additional
the game, and it's just updated every year. And,
Yeah, exactly. You pay every year for the new.
I mean that's what
updates.
League is. That's what
Yeah.
a lot of these games, a lot of the MOBAs that are very popular, Dota, League. I mean even every Blizzard game practically.
I think
But-
really the biggest reason that to be upset about this is that this whole series started as something that was a single player game, as opposed to this being something that's now the single player is the afterthought, and that's
Yeah.
kind of what you're seeing with this.
But the thing that kills me about this is Call of Duty multiplayer is not nearly as popular as it was. Like
Oh,
it's
yeah,
been
they've
replaced by
lost a ton.
all the battle royale games. So the idea if this is just more Call of Duty straight up 16 player multiplayer, who freaking cares?
Oh, it's
Nobody.
gonna suck. They're gonna have
Nobody-
to come up with a way to
no-
have bigger
Yeah, that's
matches.
Like one of the things though too that's kind of made me think about is Black Ops 3 was released on like the previous generation, like PS3 and Xbox
Yeah.
360,
Yeah.
as only like there's no campaign with those. It was only released as the multiplayer and zombies.
well,
So-
it was released in China. They have like a battle royale mode of it in China now, or something like that they tack together. I mean, they're on a 3-year, like every other year cycle with 3 different studios.
Correct.
So I
And
mean,
they're all different.
so who
games,
knows what will
technically.
happen next year? But I mean, I get it from a business standpoint. It probably makes sense when they look at that and they say, "Hey, look at the numbers. We've got such a small percentage of people actually playing this game."
I'm sure they could
yeah.
check who played the campaign and who didn't. You know.
Yeah. I don't know. We'll see where it goes. We'll hold our judgment till May 17th and see. Maybe they're like, no, we have a campaign or whatever. The thing is, like, the Black Ops campaigns were kind of the coolest. Like, especially
They were
1 and
good.
2. I really liked when they went back to like Vietnam and some of that stuff that wasn't in the other games. So, yeah. We'll see what happens. I just, it's just a weird. I think you grow up in like the cart era or the non-internet era of gaming where you're used to getting a game and it's finished.
Yeah.
And I mean,
product
I
versus
realized,
service.
I get it with the service. That's an obvious argument, but I'm just saying like the internet has allowed for the service-based model to work, and that's good. And that's also good for patching games when there's bugs and like, that's all great. Like that's fine.
as
but
frustrating as it can be, it is.
But that
good.
should not be an excuse for these developers to just release unfinished games because
Yeah.
they have some fiscal deadline that they want to hit. Like that's what drives me nuts. And
Well,
but
ironically, that's an accounting push. You know
sure,
what I
it's
mean?
always been, but that's when
Yeah.
that's when like it's been forced out, and then the game's bad, and then they whatever because they rushed it. But now there's no pushback to that because it's like, oh, we can just
fix it.
fix it slowly.
Yeah.
And I mean,
Or add to
Irrelevant
it.
Native mentioned Siege, and like when that game came out, like it kind of died immediately, and then all of a sudden it was resurrected. Like Ubisoft has done a great job supporting that game as a service.
Yep.
A lot of people like playing that. I haven't really got into it much after we kind of played it initially.
I just feel really intimidated, but
But it really blew up. But it's just the thing of like I that's just not. I mean, I enjoy some games like that. I do, but like that's when I think about it. And with God of War coming out Friday, I am so excited to play this game. And it's like this single player narrative. And I'm not saying they're going away, but it's like I'm curious to see how it sells compared to people that like. I mean, you look at Fortnite. Why is it the most popular game ever? Because it's free and everybody can play it. Now it's on phones and now it's on tablets, and it's just like I don't know. It frustrates me, and I feel bad that you guys think I'm like beating up on Sea of Thieves, but I'm just being critical of it because I think it deserves a critical look. Because I
got
don't
mad at
think
that game last night.
but I don't think it's to defend Sea of Thieves is to shoot yourself in the foot, because to pay $60 for this game, I don't think it's a $60 game. Like I don't
See,
think
I base the
that's
purchase on how long I'm going to play it, so I guess I look at it differently than you do.
no.
Because
That's I do
I
that
look at
too.
the hours of play.
But that's just silly to look at it that way. Do you
Why?
do that when you go to a movie? Do you look at how long it is and be like, well, I'm not going to pay $8
no,
because it's only an hour and a
because
half?
That's a little
Right.
different. I mean, this
totally
Sea of
different.
Thieves is about, and I think it's the biggest difference between that and where some of the biggest complaints with No Man's Sky and the lack of being able to play with friends. I think that Sea of Thieves is built entirely around an experience, and it's
yeah.
a sandbox that doesn't have to have objectives in the same way that a lot of other games are. It's a different type of game, and I think that that's a big part of the reason that it's feels like it's like, well, where do I go next? Because so many games you're used to as a objective based and seeing progression, and the progression is just the fact that you are in this world and you are having these experiences. You are getting better as a unit if you are playing with the same people.
Correct.
Here's the
And-
problem, though. Sea of Thieves, they I'm not going to deny they built a beautiful game. The game looks gorgeous. The gameplay is fun. The fighting mechanics suck, but whatever. But here's the thing. Even if they would have come out now and said, okay, we know that maybe this is all the progression you have. You can become this legendary pirate. Maybe that's not enough for you. So they just released this map, right, of all the things, their roadmap or whatever you want to call it, of all the things that are to come. They couldn't tell us one specific thing. If you watch that video, all they say is, well, there's going to be events, and there's we got a couple new skeletons and like a new snake, and like and we got and it's just like, are you kidding me? Like, this is your roadmap for this game? Like, you can't tell me one thing that it's
They were
actually
going to have pets,
happening.
but they got rid of them.
Well, I'm just saying, like, they can't. So that's what it just frustrates me, because I don't think I just cannot defend Sea of Thieves. I'm not saying I don't enjoy the game, but I just can't defend it at this point. I think, like, I'm kicking myself. I should have just bought the like $9 a month or $10 a month Microsoft thing.
That was
because
the
it's just-
whole benefit. That
because-
game was sold on that model. More people bought
and it should have maybe only been sold on there, because
Yeah,
it's just
maybe.
like
It would've
it's
been
just I don't know. It
interesting.
just seems like for $60 you're not getting a full game, but whatever it is. I'm beating a dead horse, and there's no point in doing that, but there is a point in thanking our Patreon peeps. That's right, all those
You gotta give me
lovely people
the heads
who
up, man.
donate their money, their financial earnings on a monthly basis. I cannot be a more graciously appreciative. I think
I don't even
that's
want
what
to play
I
the music for you for not even giving me.
What?
any
You got to
type
be
of-
on it. Be on it, Kyle.
Yeah,
It's-
do
you
your
be
job,
on it.
Kyle. Do your job.
You're over there
Completely.
like looking at something.
I was looking
just-
at. I was looking at the
our
information about
Patreon
Sea of
peeps. I got to
Thieves.
tell you, I say, and he's watching Rick and Morty. I tell you what, he's
Yep,
over
he
there
sure
watching
is.
Rick and Morty.
I saw it and I was intrigued because I was lost in a Sea of Thieves.
Yeah. Anyways, no, I do want to thank all our Patreon peeps. You guys are great. Thank you for going to patreon.com/MinuteTub and showing us your support on a monthly basis. You can donate anywhere from $1 to whatever you want. But these are the people that donate $10 or higher. They're considered our co-producers. And we appreciate it very much. Irrelevant Native says
That segue.
says a couple things.
State of Decay is going to look
State of
great.
Decay, that's what it was. I
very-
lost it.
It does look good.
State of
I'm
Decay
really
2 looks
excited.
awesome. I want to check that out. That's another reason to. But I mean, that is only a $30 game, so they obviously get it. I think if they would have charged $30 for Sea of Thieves, I would have been way okay with it. Like I would have been
I
so
think
much
that would have
better.
been better.
But like,
I mean,
State
one
of
could
Decay is
argue
gonna
that
be- it's
game
gonna be
prices
30.
haven't changed significantly in a
Well, I
large
could-
number of
I know, I get it.
years, and
That's-
inflation. So really, I mean, games are cheaper.
I mean, Donkey Kong Country on the SNES was like $80 when it first came out. So
There you go.
I get it. But it's it is what it is. Games as services, right? But I think that about wraps it up for us. We do have a show tomorrow night you'll want to be sure to tune into. That's the Tubcast, where we don't talk about hot dogs
Well,
and
we
them
could.
being sandwiches or not. Irrelevant Native, another 100 bits. Thank you very
Thank you.
much, sir.
Thank you.
Thank you
Welcome
for
to the chat, Brown Ice.
keeping-
Thank you for joining.
Yeah. Hello
keeping
and
us
goodbye, as you
Yeah.
enthused.
say. Hello.
You know, I did. Oh, I
No,
know what
that's not how it goes,
Irrelevant
Jeremy.
Native said something about Ubisoft killing it, and I think he's right. Ubisoft
I
has been
say
supporting
hello.
their games
say
insanely.
goodbye.
Like, I mean, whether even games that like, I mean, I know I bounced off of. What's the one that you like, Jeremy? And I think Trevor played quite a bit of
I
it
like a
too.
lot of games.
I know the Ubisoft, the Destiny-like one, in the city, New York City.
Oh,
Oh, the Division.
Division.
Yeah, the Division's been
Jeez, I
getting-
totally escaped me. But I mean, they've been supporting the heck out of
Yeah,
that.
yeah.
They've been doing tons of updates for. I almost said Wonderlands. Man, my brain is fried now. What's the other one? The Lands one, not Borderlands. Wildlands.
Wildlands.
They've been supporting that a
Yeah.
lot. They just added the
Splinter
Sam
Cell,
Fisher
yeah.
Splinter Cell crossover thing. So I mean, it's
Yeah,
been-
they've been doing some good work.
they've really been supporting their games, and that's cool to see. So I would agree with you on that.
of course, that argues in the benefit of the software.
Yeah, but
as
those
a
were
service.
actually full games.
Those were, yeah.
that
Again,
came out.
but,
And there's, I don't think it. I don't think it
I
is.
mean, you
'cause-
thought the Division was a full game. I mean, I felt like it was lacking initially.
What?
What are you talking about?
Yeah, they eventually opened up significantly more areas that should have been part of the game. It was too fast of a game.
There's not that much
I
more
don't, I
than
don't know.
there
Yeah,
was
I don't
before.
think that's a great art. But wow, yeah,
There's
like
four.
two.
No, there's like four.
No, there's like two.
from the open. Anyway,
that's a,
See, I think with the Sea of Thieves, it has more to do with the price tag for you than
a
what
little
it
bit,
is.
a little bit. But I just feel like
I
don't.
think if it was a $30 game, I don't think you would care about
Sure.
having spent the money on it.
I wouldn't as much. That's true. But I
don't-
still think the game. I still think it's. I just. For me, it's the. If you enjoy that, great, good for you. I think it's lame. I think it's fun. It's fun if you're with friends and you're playing it and you're having the adventures and those unique experiences and you run into other people. It's great. I enjoy it. But just to go out there and sail by myself and collect
well, they
stuff.
don't want you to do that. They
That's
really
not
don't.
supposed to be a
I know,
single-player game.
but that's what's the thing is like I don't. That's how I play games. I don't play it with people. I don't play. So it's like I don't want to do that. That's not
Well,
the
it's not-
experience I
it's
want to
obvious.
enjoy.
He
It's
doesn't
not the
want to
game
play
for
with
you,
us, guys.
You know,
Well,
Kuipers,
are
you
you
in?
kidding me? You guys don't ever play that anyways. So
I'll play.
I played all the time.
by yourself.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Jeremy plays by
I know,
himself.
but that's
I
what I'm
played for
saying.
3 hours last night and lost
It's insane to me.
12 chess and
It's insane.
yeah.
Anyways,
I don't
we
play
got to
by
end the
myself,
show.
but
Can you play a music?
We gotta end the show.
Let's go. We're going long. All right, everybody. Thanks for watching. Obviously, I hate Sea of Thieves, so let's just leave it at that because everybody's offended right now. I don't hate the game. I just think it sucks. I love you guys all. Let's leave it at that, and we'll see you tomorrow night.